Great Scott.
Great Scott.
Great Scott.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another fine edition of Great Scott. Behind me, you see poor Superboy. He's been put back in his cloning chamber. And why? Why? Because Cartoon Network has screwed things up once again. And I owe no loyalty, no allegiance to Cartoon Network. And in my mind, they did the same exact thing with the Justice League show when it became Justice League Unlimited. Even before that, I remember waiting for seasons of that show to continue several times. I would turn it on Saturdays or whatever day it was supposed to be on. Who even knows what day it was supposed to be on? And it wouldn't be there. Or it would be a rerun of something I'd seen 3 or 4 times already. And they would have no explanation, and they'd have no notice of when it was returning or when it was going or where it was at or what the deal was. This is what the Cartoon Network does. Someone said to me that it was a division of Warner Brothers, which means that that's why DC keeps going there. But if I were them, I would stop putting my shows onto the Cartoon Network. For those of you who don't know what I'm speaking of, the Young Justice and the Green Lantern animated series have both been canceled. They will not be renewed after this second season. And if you're not aware or you don't watch either show, this second season has been a mess. It was on, it was off, it came back, it was on for 2 episodes, then it was gone. It's been gone for 5 months, 4 months, however long it's been. It just came back, and now they announced that it's going to be off. Several months ago, when it was taken off the air, I said this does not bode well for the future of the series. Then DC announced that the Young Justice accompaniment book would be canceled, which was also very good. And I said, well, if they're going to cancel the book, that probably means something going forward with the series. This is probably a prelude to some bad news that we're likely to hear about the series. And fair enough, 2 days ago or whatever it was, Cartoon Network announced that neither show would be back. However, as a consolation prize, we Superman fans are getting another Batman show. Now, I like Batman. I've said this many times. When he's treated correctly, when he's treated like a mortal, when he's treated like a man, when he is treated like a man who is heavily trained and can defeat any earthly foe and maybe even take on some heavier baddies, but not when he is treated like a god who can destroy god warriors from outer space and do other things of this nature. The show's called Beware the Batman, and it's coming on, and I've actually seen some stuff from it, and it looks pretty good. And I enjoyed that Batman one, the Batman. I think it was called the Batman, the one that was funny with Aquaman, and had I thought it was hilarious. I loved every minute of it, and I did enjoy the Batman. The other one before that no one seemed to like, where they kind of messed up the Joker and they did some weird things to people. It was another take on it. And, I'm from the school of thought that every one of these alternate media representations of any character that we like is an alternate universe, an AU. And so some things are going to be different from what you remember from the comics. And the comics themselves have gone through so many various incarnations throughout the years that there really is no one way it should be or one way it has to be, because you could look back at in any number of years and see that things have changed over the years for every character. But this Young Justice thing has got me nuts. I mean, it's been the deepest. It's been at times the darkest. It's been the most well-written. It's been the most well-drawn animated superhero series that I have ever seen from DC on television. Probably from any company, but DC definitely. And yeah, I said at the beginning, these are characters that most people probably don't know or care about. Sure, people have heard of Robin, people have heard of Superboy, but this is not a Superboy that most of the general public is familiar with. Look at this. I'm going to die in here without his power on. Anyway, but he is a Superboy that has a deeper story, is more deeply conflicted, is trying to live up to the shield on his chest. Went out already? Shield on his chest, but at the same time wants to be his own individual. And we have so many points about Superboy and his relationship with Superman that haven't even been addressed. they had this conflicting thing, and then suddenly they were fighting together in the Watchtower, and it seemed like everything was good, and but we still haven't really had a conversation between the two. We still haven't really seen Superman's uncomfortable about it because he doesn't want to talk about it, but we haven't seen him really address it or cover it in any way. There are so many things that are going to be left hanging. And I'm just very, very disappointed. And I know a lot of other fans are. I still talk to people who haven't watched it yet. But it's so good, and it was so well done and so well handled. And I'm reminded again of the Justice League. They did the same thing. And you cannot, and I said this on a previous Great Scott, and I've said it on Radio KAL. If you don't listen, that comes out every Wednesday. We have a show coming out. We had a show come out this past Wednesday. If you haven't listened, Steve and I go over all of the issues that have gone on in the DC world of the Superman, mainly the Superman world, not the DC world. And we talk about Young Justice, and you cannot. In any show, no matter what network you're on, you really can't jump a show around, have it off for weeks and weeks, have it come back for an episode, take it away for a few months, bring it back, announce that it's a big surprise, announce that it's for the fans, announce that we're going to be happy in January when it comes back, over and over and over again for years, and expect that the show's ratings to stay heavy and to stay good. I just don't understand how the people up there can control the property in such a way and just have it kind of bouncing around wherever they want or not want, have it on or not on, or have it go away and then come back. It's just the worst handling of shows that I have ever seen, and Cartoon Network has done this before. I mean, what's that saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm an idiot. You can't fool me again. But they can, and they keep doing it. And they've got another Batman show coming on from the DC universe, and they'll probably handle that okay because everyone loves Batman. But there were so many characters on this show that I started to like that no one ever cared about before, and I think it was done so well that it would have behooved them to keep this going. But, of course, what do I know? Who listens to me? I have 3 listeners. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and remember, Young Justice is canceled.